Just a dope ass podcast. Pew 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 pew. Just a dope ass podcast. Pew pew pew. Figured that shit out, man. Goddamn
That was
DJ.
you scratching? That was DJing.
Yeah,
real
that was
time.
a DJ version.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't got no talent. They on the fly.
Goddamn. What's going on, people? How are y'all doing this week? How is everybody? The sun's out on today. I don't know when y'all gonna see this, when y'all gonna listen to it, but the sun's out. It's been a wonderful week.
That's a good thing to do. It's like recorded as of this date. Cause shit be happening. It's like I didn't say that shit. Boy, that shit happened after we was done. Why didn't y'all talk about it didn't happen yet? People ain't figured that out. This is Saturday, April 4th. So whatever the fuck happened, if you know, I may or may not have seen it, or I may or may not have cared.
If you see this on a Thursday,
yeah,
people ain't figured out that we ain't been live in years.
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's like live or if it's just like how fast this shit gets done. I got a regular job, right? So
I have a lot.
This other motherfuckers got teams and units. You see it. Hey, we're recording it, and then that shit up in the next few hours. You're not gonna get that over here, baby. You'll get it tomorrow, probably more than likely.
Y'all will get something.
Yeah,
you gonna get something today, tomorrow, whatever. But
the audio usually.
Episode?
I'm good for the audio day of. Visual, depending, how I'm feeling, you might get it the next day within 2 days.
Okay,
I'm at least within a day, 2 days. It just
two business days.
Yeah,
2 business days. You kind of navigate that. Well, yeah, whatever day you are in the future when you're listening to this, hope you are having a wonderful day. Here in the past, because this is pre-recorded. It's a wonderful day, sunny outside. We good to go. We hope your previous week has been wonderful. There's been a lot of fuckery that has been partaken upon in this last week, politically, social media wise, pop culture wise, and personal life wise. Like there's been a whole lot of tomfoolery going around. So hopefully your life has not had as much tomfoolery, or hopefully you haven't paid as much attention to said tomfoolery that's going on. Because I know a lot of people scrolling and they get sucked into all the bullshit that's going on. So hopefully you allow yourself to separate from that, just for your own mental health. Get rid of that dopamine drops that you get holding on to your phone with. In case you haven't been paying attention, lucky you. You get to hear some of what has happened this week from us as we diagnose how sick and stupid this world is that we live in right now. So
very much so. I don't know, man. Oh wait, I'm gonna start with positivity.
Why? Why would you?
Because I feel like I know bullshit gonna go to. It's a stream. It's just a quick tidbit.
The power of positivity.
Oh yeah, speaking of like weeks going well, I was privy to black and brown love yesterday. Actually, shout out to I ain't putting everybody's business out. Shout out to my nigga getting married.
Oh okay.
And that happened, and this niggas, you motherfuckers slurve in the air. You motherfuckers, what's that like the second marriage in 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
I don't know. I've had more deaths this year, so I've been on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, look at life trying to balance that shit out.
I think I've had 4 or 5 deaths this year already.
It's not balancing enough. Yes, scales have not yet tipped the other way.
It really has. I've had a few close deaths, and then I've had deaths of people that I know. It's like, where's all this death coming from? So yeah, you getting. I have seen people get engaged or things of that nature, but I've seen a lot more death this year than I have in the last couple of years, which is like, what is going on? So I'm on this side of the spectrum to a degree. I'm trending towards the middle because there's other stuff going on that is more positive, but
that's valid.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you're trying to balance that scale. Hey, where do you?
I mean, yeah.
Where do your people?
Yeah. Shout out to the universe for doing what the universe does as far as trying to balance shit out. And really, that's kind of our job to balance it out for ourselves. Because I'll say, even though I've had some close deaths and stuff like that this year, you grieve over it in a moment, but it's like it's been a pleasant reminder of like the importance of community and people's mortality and how to navigate during tough times and relationships and things of that nature. So although this is not stuff that I needed a reminder of, I appreciate the reminder, and I'm giving myself the ability to reframe it to something positive and using it to create more positive behavior. So interacting with the chosen family more and the chosen nieces and nephews and making sure that they straight and like reconnecting and trying to fill the gaps. So I can appreciate the reminder of I have to create balance as opposed to the universe is going to give me balance, because it's not. I have to be the one to do that.
I can kind of ride with that. I would actually probably piggyback that off of yesterday, because, you know, it was an event that obviously brought us together, but usually that conversation, and I feel like, man, niggas have now, like when you like, you know, in life, and it's like, man, we need to do this more often. Every nigga just be saying that shit like it's like but I will say we've been decent, at least in these past like 2 or 3 months. Niggas have been kind of consistently interacting as much to try to keep that together, because I do think that sometimes is, how do I say, I think loss and shit like that is always like a fucking kick in the balls, but I think sometimes, at least in my experience, it's a double, triple down when it's like, fuck, you know, I'm that phone call I didn't make, that fucking time I didn't put aside. So having these moments, I think, like, because motherfuckers is, you know, it'd be moments like that where it's like, oh shit, nigga, you know, there was a time when you were like 22. It's like, oh yeah, nigga, like the fucking world is my oyster. And it ain't like I'm fucking 79, but like motherfuckers is leaving this motherfucker like here and there periodically, where it's like, oh shit, life is happening. People have made people and are doing all these, like, I'm like, oh shit, we are the adults. Yeah, all right.
I've definitely become, you know, becoming 40 this year. So entering into that milestone for sure has already put into perspective of like, yeah, we are approaching being the matriarchs and patriarchs of our circles, of our communities, of our families, and things of that nature. And not everybody's gonna make it. Like I think I had the bias of, because we made it past our teens and early 20s, like we're gonna make it into adulthood. Like middle-aged adulthood. And it's like, nah, anybody can go at any time. So it's like, just because, which I was kind of sharing with you, I think I shared that with you off air, of like, my bro, you know, we made it, making it through gang life and shootouts and stuff like that, only to die of a medical condition. Like, damn, you forget, like, yeah, just because you've made it out of a certain lifestyle doesn't mean that you're going to make it the full length of the marathon, so to speak. Everybody, I may be running a 10K, you may be running a 5. Some people may be running a 1. Like, you don't know who's running what race. We all may be seeing each other in the same race, but that doesn't mean we're running the same race for the same length of time, and you kind of forget that. But as you start to get older, you definitely start to allow that to be put more into perspective, and it's like, oh, shit.
I think that highlights a little bit like what it's like to have like the black man experience. I say that because like I'm fresh off, like, you know, all these fucking books have been like fucking, they all have highlighted that fucking thing of like, you know, they talk about systemic issues and they're like very good, blah, blah, blah. But even like the little like fantasy book that I was reading, it's, you know, there's death and shit in that book, and, you know, you carry all this like weight as a black man, but like, you know, the statistics, like, we're only making it to this certain age. How many of us don't do this? How many of us are even in the field, so to speak? So it's like, you get past those fucking super low projected numbers, and you're like, oh, I fucking made it. And it's like, well, nah, nigga, you made it past our shitty circumstances. But like, life is like, you get to, you know, I could kind of relate to that. Like, you get to the point of like, oh man, look at this vast life. And it's like, hey, by the way, man, did you know, such and such? And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? We beat the thing. Now, you beat like your specific shitty circumstances by this marginal degree. Yeah. But as far as like, you know, the rest of the world is concerned, you kind of,
you beat y'all stereotype a little bit.
Yeah.
You didn't realize that stereotype was never a good thing to begin with. You're just barely scratching the surface as of the average of most other people outside of you. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, like, not to have foreboding joy, but it's like, I can't get too happy celebrating too much, but also I do need to embrace in real time how important that is. So it's like, the conflicting narrative between the two. I have to love this. Bless you. I have to love the fact that, yes, I have beat this small margin of error, but at the same time, I still have a long way to go, and I need to make sure I'm nurturing that. I need to make sure I'm upholding that. So
I feel
it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think that shit, has quite the effect on niggas' mindsets and how they view the world and how they interact and make decisions. Because, Pooh Shiesty, somebody who might, have a certain limited view of circumstances and consequences. In news this week, I guess I thought he just robbed him, but apparently he robbed and kidnapped Guwap. I think it was actually happened earlier this year, but it came out.
Yeah, they I think they saw the video footage of it. It happened before, and there was kind of rumors of it or something along those lines, and people didn't believe it. And I think now that there's footage from the cameras outside of the record studio, why you would think that there's no cameras there, especially when you've recorded there before. Such a brilliant. But now it's become more relevant. But I also understand the semantics of law, because they can say kidnapped and really just we say held him at gunpoint, and we gonna sit here until you sign this contract and let me out of my contract. Technically, that's considered kidnapping, even if we only had you for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
because we're holding you against your will, and that semantics wise, that makes your charges worse. Which I understand that as somebody who has zero blemishes on my criminal record. You, sir, as someone who is,
I can't wait to get back in this motherfucking way.
Right?
Yeah, don't even get to crying, man. I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, hey, hold my shoes till I get back. Man, hide them so the CEO don't take them. But you being somebody that you glorify your interactions with breaking the law and whatnot, you should understand the circumstances. I could see if y'all tried it and people knew where the cameras was and you tried to knock the cameras down or take them out before so nobody. Because I could see if you tried to be somewhat smart, because you would bank on the fact that Gucci ain't gonna tell nobody. Gucci's not gonna run around telling these niggas robbed me. This is not Gucci. Even healed Gucci is not about to sit up here and be snitching.
In my mind, Gucci kidnap looked like when them niggas took the shit off Bane, and it was it would be very painful. For you.
It's not gonna work out for you. This is probably
it would be extremely painful.
I can see Gucci saying something along. This is not gonna work out for you, right?
Yeah, man. I wish y'all because who we have is a dude trying to be a dad, trying to be whatever. But that nigga was fat, congested Gucci.
Oh, if it was that, they're lucky it's this version. I think if it was that version, it would have been a lot uglier.
Somebody would have been dead.
Absolutely.
A shit show.
It definitely would have been. But speaking of, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't read deep into it. I just kind of heard bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Pooh Shiesty's dad helped them plan it, or somebody's.
I saw something about that.
Somebody's dad helped them plan.
Yeah.
Sir Shiesty, I need you to.
Shiesty Senior.
Let me move you out the way. You, Senior. How do your child just got, you don't like your son, do you? You can't like your child. If your child just got out of jail, he has the opportunity to go back to making money. You say, you know where to help you make more money? If you rob the nigga whose contract you don't like, rob him and show him you ain't playing and make him let you out of your contract. You didn't even take nothing for real. You just wanted him to let you out your contract, which that's what lawyers are for, right? Not AKs. AKs don't make that happen the way that a lawyer can. You can just hire a lawyer to look over your contract and renegotiate it because you're worth more money than what he signed you for. Wouldn't that make more sense? But your father, the person that's supposed to be guiding you in life, I'm assuming that didn't cross his mind not one time. I would also, since we were talking about creeping up in age, I wonder how old his dad is.
That's a good question.
Because he's what, 25?
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't think he ain't. deep in his 20s like that. He came out young, and he'd been in jail for what, 3 years?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's 26. Yeah, this is a fucking this nigga. Like, I mean, you know, on technicality, brain is, you know, technically,
it ain't even developed yet.
It's
still got another at least 4 years before you get there. But saying that to say, like, his dad is probably roughly our age. He's probably around my age.
Yeah.
So being my age, guiding your adult child to go back to jail after just getting out, like what?
I think that if I'm gonna try to, I know I got some more jokes in here, but if I'm gonna discuss,
I'm gonna try to be serious about it. Don't you don't have to. It's not even a serious topic to be honest.
I know there's a man, because it's another one of them fucking internet comedians that I just saw that joke the other day, and it was like, you niggas go back to jail, like it's okay, like you might have a boyfriend in there, and it's like the thing is you could just do that out here. Like you could just live your life free.
You don't have to go back. I mean, no, it's different in there. That's what they be saying. They saying it's different in here. And it's not gay in jail. When I get out of jail,
nigga, all the kink spaces and shit out here. You got Christy Nome husband with balloon titties. You could do, and he's free. We making fun of him a little bit, but he's free,
free and rich.
You could do if you just needed a nigga to dress up. Like if Pooh Shiesty ran up on Christy Nome husband, Brian Nome, it might be different. You could prison it out here. You could call it a kink. You like a little freak shit. I just don't understand, because it ain't even about the, like, you could butt fuck outside. You know what I'm saying? Like you just it ain't like it's food out here. It's marathon. Like we 20 minutes from Marathon Burger. You don't got no Marathon Burger in there. It's just processed goop and butt fucking, and you don't even have the proper butt fuck materials. So much lube out here and shit. You could go fucking crazy in this motherfucker.
They might have lube available in the commissary.
You got to do some makeshift butt fucking with Vaseline like a peasant.
No, they spit.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. You could really, man.
I think I sent you that. Some on Instagram. These two younger rapper dudes were talking about some crazy stuff they've seen in lockup in jail.
And
they like knocked out some nigga, and like everybody in unison was like, "Yeah, get his butt." And everybody,
I seen some videos like niggas talking about
spit
in his ass, like, and I just feel like nigga, like, which goes back to that original topic. And niggas like that statistic shit. You don't make it past 20 something. Like niggas is confined to these mindsets. And I'm gonna keep it on butt fucking, because you can expand your horizons, nigga.
You should expand it more than that.
You can, but you can do it in a healthy manner.
Absolutely,
it's all these motherfucking you know, it's a chick who just had no skill set. She just had a fat ass 30-something-year-old white woman on Instagram. You got 3.5 million followers just off straight just butt stuff. And as I said that, you thought of some who you're thinking of is not who I'm thinking of, because there's 47 of them. Nigga, you ain't have to do that shit. And that's the shit, man. You niggas gotta
or you can just have enough money to where you can do it in private and people don't know about it like Diddy did.
But see, Diddy,
you ain't gotta have Diddy money, obviously. There's spaces you can go to for free to be able to participate. There's people that have robbery kinks if you just want to live out your magnificence.
Man. It's a lot of places. You niggas is, you know, fighting all that. It's a lot of niggas fighting the urge that they want to butt fuck in a certain way. And it's turning into fucked up shit. Your wife, you got Brian Nome, his family all fucked up because they doing all that weird conservative talking points instead of living their truth. Now your whole family fucked up because you like to, you know, dress up in balloon titties and shit.
They are latex bodysuits.
That's a lot, man.
It's a lot of either.
Well, there's a lot of shit going on. I just realized, like, I'm nasty. I might not be freaky, because like it just seemed like it's a lot of shit that go into being like freaky. I'm just a nasty ass nigga, man. Like, it's freak shit. You got to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Hulk don't need no fucking apparatus. That nigga just power up. Tony Stark got to do all this extra shit, call it up. Y'all Tony Stark freaky. Maybe I'm Thor. Because Thor get it. Whatever you could do it right then. I'm a right thinner.
I'm trying to think, like, if we do put that in the context of like heroes and what they represent as far as freakdom or whatever the case is, like, who is what? That's interesting.
I think all the like tank niggas who just power up, I think those are all just nasty. Cause Thor will tear through a bunch of motherfuckers with that hammer, and like on the battlefield probably didn't got the fucking. I believe that 100%. I believe that's in somebody's panel. Hulk don't even got the mental capacity. You get that nigga too many rules, he go bad again. Yeah, like if he get done and there's a version of Betty who's a Hulk herself, and they in the mood right then. Betty starts saying some safe word shit. That nigga get to fighting again. He'll get to what the fuck is this? Dick hard. And then she start telling him a bunch of different shit. She start pulling out tools, and Hulk be like, "Me, Dick, what's wrong with you? Fuck is all this other shit?" Tony, on the other hand, though, Tony will map out some shit, some freak shit, 6 months in advance. Tony been horny for fucking 60 full days, and just is fueling that for some other shit. And you find out, this nigga. We thought we was in here to fuck. Tony in here processing shit. And, Dr. Doom, like all them niggas, yeah.
So that means like a lot of the villains would probably be the more freaky.
For shit show. Yeah, the villains do shit that it's like, you see it on the things, like the villains comes like, it'd be a nigga like Homelander. Like Homelander got some,
he got the breast milk and all that.
Yeah, Homelander do a lot of repressed shit. You could do so much. It's a whole series, whole fucking world. Crazy ass superheroes fucking. Homelander is jerking off on top of a building alone and drinking breast milk. He could be doing freak shit. This motherfucker's getting small and jumping in other people's asses.
Absolutely.
And you on the building just, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. Like, it's not even freaky at that point. You have some shit you trying to process.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on I'm not trying to always make that connection, but
no, that's relevant.
Yeah.
That's very relevant. I mean, I have that conversation as well. Whether people are happy about it or not, like how much of our kinks or freakiness or nastiness is associated with
kink the DSM superhighway.
they got CBT too, apparently. So, but,
yeah, respectfully.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking. As long as it's consensual.
I don't think
I'm just
people
saying
always pay attention to that correlation of like how what they've been through in their life makes them more susceptible to liking certain deviant behaviors.
I forget. It was one thing I saw, and it was like making the distinction between, and I don't remember what's what, but like kink and fetish as opposed to like something you would take part in and it's cool. And then the other one is like, if this doesn't happen, we don't finish. And that's like a big distinction.
I need you to do the thing with your pinky or I'm just not going to be able to finish.
Yeah, and maybe that's my difference. Because, like, I'm down for whatever. But, like, if we just fuck, like, that's also good, too. Like,
I'm cool here.
Yeah, when it gets to, like, if this don't happen, we don't get to the promised land. It's like, all right, well, shit.
You don't pull my left ear.
Yeah, this shit feel like work.
Turn it counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Put this leg on top of my head at this angle. Pull this nipple, like get some clamps and clamp this one particular nipple and turn it the opposite way that you're turning the ear.
Get counterclockwise and shit. Like, I knew it was different when people were saying shit. When I saw like mad discourse on, and it was people that was be liking shit. Now I see all y'all shit's like, but that was even like early Instagram. You could see that shit be in your feed, and it'd be like shit like niggas was like above hand jobs, and jerk me in the motherfucking niggas ain't never got, niggas ain't ever tried to order some food and you getting, this is a boring part of the movie anyway. She just cranking that shit in the, this is fun. Thank you for thinking about me.
Just make sure it misses the popcorn because I still want to eat that one.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like, you niggas, every nigga.
Use the buttery fingers.
Yeah, it's always a nigga that want to be like, that's not mine. Like, you eat steaks everybody I know get drunk and go get some motherfucking Jack in the Box tacos. Motherfucker just act like he just eats steak and lobster every day. You got too good for the welfare, precious. Shut the fuck up. Niggas make me sick all the fun. If it ain't, shut the fuck up. That's how you know you niggas don't be fucking good or be having no fun. That's your fucking problem. Need all this extra bullshit. Shut up. God put that shit right there. He gave us hands and holes and fucking, and genitals. I need all this. I need all the extra shit is cool, but once you need it, now you got a problem.
I mean, it's part of the on a more serious note, that is part of like the symptoms of our society because we're so overstimulated by shit that where we feel like we need to go to this extreme in order to meet a certain regular plateau. Like, I can't do this regular thing anymore unless it comes from this extreme situation because we're so used to being overstimulated by everything. I mean, you think about it, like, we've talked about it before on here, the effects of porn on the minds of men and their emotions and things of that nature. But sex has always been something that's been sold, something that's always been put in our face. But like, yeah, you mentioned OnlyFans, man. Like, it's so common for us to come across something sexual, something being thrown at. Like, we are super overstimulated when it comes to that these days. So yeah, the regular shit just doesn't appeal to you anymore. It doesn't appeal to the masses anymore, which also you have the freedom to expand your horizons and allow yourself to participate in those extremes. You don't have to feel bad about it like you did in the past. In the past, it's more repressed. Mm-hmm. You may have to find a low-key situation where you can participate. Now you can just walk down the street and be like, hey, literally, there's people with platform. Hey, you eat ass before you had your ass ate. Like, it's people just asking random people them questions on the street, and it's not even abnormal at this point. So you mean to tell me you can't talk to people in your life and see who likes what you like to be able to participate in that? Decompress from this shit and allow yourself to step into it actually, and you may not need those extremes anymore.
I know, like, the industry of porn is fucked up, and I'm because that whole, like, you watch any fucking documentary on that shit, them motherfuckers in there doing, like, just grueling shit. I will make the distinction though. Because I stand by you motherfuckers, like, porn becomes like a thing. Mm. I feel like a lot of y'all, though, like, you know, like when y'all was watching, like, the Vivids and this shit, and it was like these weird scenarios that just don't happen in real life. Man, West Coast Productions and Evasive Angles was just starting, and niggas was naked. And I just feel like, the between the two, it cognitively may have a little bit of help. Because I noticed there's nowhere in my life where I just walk in the room and it's just ass is shaking and we get to fucking. So in my head, I think she's attractive. It's various bodies in here, man. You was going from Lacey Duvall to Sky Black, man. I appreciate this. Now when you walk in there, you know, it's white man shit, and it's like, I'm your boss. Blow me. Nigga, that's not how life works. Yeah, that's fucked up. I like when you just walk. Like, you just press play, and it was just, you know, Cherokee throwing ass at one of the 7 mansions that they all just kept circulating. It's like, okay, I know this is not this. None of this is real life, but that's sexy.
I mean, even either that or like the setup was so bad that you know,
shit was awful.
Like, yeah, who in what realm do you have like you said, Cherokee and Sky Black breaking out of jail with their county oranges
and
on.
They was just like bullshit. And it was like, man,
we just so happened to end up in the hills somewhere at this house.
Oh yeah. Like, every nigga watched the exact same shit. Every nigga watched all them scenes. You know what I saw this week too? That I thought just, you know, speaking of like niggas living their truth and because I don't know at this point, I don't know who sent what to what, but it was Pinky versus Cherokee, and like who was the best, right? And in my mind, this is really just like a personal preference thing. You know, these two motherfuckers, you know, controlled an era, bless up, did a lot of great things for a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you niggas up here, everybody say they like ass now. Like, these are the OG asses. When you niggas was out here trying to be like, you know, fucking try to tell me Kirsten Dunst was a bad bitch. I'll be on that. Okay. I'll never forget that motherfucker, whoever he is in life. I'm never letting that shit ride.
Or Fergie.
Anyways, but you niggas in the comments at a certain point, it was just like, oh man, tan line Pinky was a thing. Hilarious, super fun. We all remember that. This ass, that ass. All of a sudden, man, and I think that there's just a part of this where niggas are gonna have to start, you know, being okay with themselves, because it'd be some of these niggas that, you know, fuck around to be the Jaden Ivies of the world, just having fucking religious psychosis on camera. Because niggas got in that niggas in them comments. It was very short. It was half a scroll before it went from awesome, fat ass, Cherokee might take this because Cherokee, I think, like, actually did anal on camera. Like, it was a bunch of regular as you can have porn conversations. Then all of a sudden, niggas got very into, like, it became the CNN of meat. It was like, well, you know, the one who could take it the most. I was like, this is teetering. And then it just became like a couple conversations of like meat descriptions. Whose meat, who was taking the meat, how much the meat was. And I was like, how the fuck did we get here? And I just think that if niggas sometimes was in a space where they could just be more free with themselves. Because who the fuck was paying that much attention to the dicks they was? The only thing, I don't watch white porn. That'd be my only thing. Like, I'm not watching no white man because they look like they trying to eat them on there. It never looks sexual. It be looking like I shouldn't, like, if you read The Delectable Negro, I fuck the whole shit up for you. So they be in that motherfucker looking like they trying to, it don't never look like that nigga just happy to be there, like regular horny like a nigga like me. This motherfucker be on there looking like, you know, like if he could bite this bitch on camera and yeah, it just, so I don't like that shit. However, I never, the niggas was in there really having like
full discourse.
Yeah, it was meat discourse. It was real fucking like philosophical about the penis. And I just felt like, you know, there's other ways for y'all to fucking just acknowledge what you are into. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I just thought that shit was crazy on Instagram of all places. This was not some shit that happened on like, also, like, you know, the niggas would be really commenting in porn. You go to fucking Pornhub or X videos and this niggas in there being like, I don't like this angle. Like, I just always think there's a.
But I think that highlights kind of what you're saying as far as so many people being wrapped up in the fantasy of it. Like because their real life is either limited or they're repressing it in some capacity that they get so wrapped up in that because that is the only place where they can actually allow themselves to be themselves. And then they come across a space like, say, a comment section or a Reddit or whatever the case. And it's like, oh, there's other people just like me. Like, hey. I support inclusion and community. But I don't think it's a good thing that you found other people just like you. That means all of you need to get out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like all of you need to separate from the fact that this is just watch this for what this is. You can enjoy it. Like, I don't even think porn stars really pay attention to it the way that other people are engulfed in it. Like, they can say, from an artistry standpoint, like, oh, they filmed great angles or they had great chemistry on set and they did wonderful, they did this, they did, like, but they're looking at it from an artistry standpoint. You are going into more discourse about it and there's nothing artistic about it. This is just how you live your life. This is what you, it's kind of like old boy with the robe that be going into full discourse about.
And here's the thing, I sometimes think he's, you know, trolling the community because I feel like there are niggas like him. Well, I don't know. I kind of think he might. He because he be knowing.
I ain't never seen him with a fresh haircut.
But
he looks the part. He looks like he be. If I ain't at work, I am here, going raw.
Yeah, I can't really like it. Be niggas like that always. I feel like, you know, when everybody has like some of their opinions on stuff or talks about a certain demographic of people, I was like, y'all kind of exist, man. Like, I can understand, you know, what maybe gets you in certain spaces, socially awkward, whatever. But the way, like, them motherfuckers you talking about, that just goes into my whole thing. I just thought it'd be a lot of shit to let me know I'm not whatever I say. It just ain't as, it's niggas out here doing different shit. Cause I thought we was all pulling up to this site. You know, you put your little thing in, you know,
look
you
for
go,
what you like.
Yeah, you go ebony, whatever. Cause that's what we here for. You know, I go, you know, ebony big asses, ebony, you know, you go ebony, you know, like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. And then we get to it. I came here to come. I didn't know y'all came here to fucking have real discourse. It's so much effort. Yeah. A nigga being here, that means you was typing in shit either dick out, or if you just was on here without your dick out, that's how we get to like, you need to come sit in the room and be fucking diagnosed. Cause you just on here watching this shit free of charge. Like, you just analyzing this shit.
We have Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, they have this movie on Netflix. That's wonderful. You know what? I think I'd like to watch some porn instead.
Yeah, nigga. Now I think I'm weird because I thought this was here that we was. I came here to bust off. Y'all just coming in here just enjoying the scenery. What the fuck?
They got their DoorDash. They got the DoorDash spread on the table, and they just sitting there watching and eating.
But those are where you get into like, because I think that's also something to be like, not necessarily distinguished, because I'm not trying to say like, oh man, get out there and watch some fucking porn or whatever if you don't, you know, whatever. But like, there is a version of these dudes that's like, I'm fucking enamored, I'm into this, and it's like taking them out of being able to interact with society properly, and you're getting into like, because I think sometimes like I think you watch some of the stuff and it's like, porn is killing people, and you know, you got a motherfucker who's like, you know, I'm 19 in college, and he's like, well, goddamn, nigga, I did jack off between my first class and my class at 2:00. But shit, I didn't know I was fucking addicted. And it's like, man, you might be exploring yourself. You're fine. But your roommate, is fucking, he need help a little bit. He got to kind of, grab a titty or something consensually.
We always have to, at least for us, especially on this side of the spectrum, we have to have that conversation of like, what pushed you to the point to where you dove into that fantasy so much because reality was appalling to you? Like, what is it that you dislike about reality so much? And what event in your life triggered you to say, this is safer for me to put my full self into this, as opposed to finding a way to interact with it outside? I can see if like, man, I be trying, man. My game ain't what it needs to be, or I wish I looked better, or whatever the case is. I've shot my shot and I miss. And, I'm a little aroused. I got this extra energy. I don't have no roster. I don't have nobody. I'm going to go ahead and turn to a video. And this is where I get to, at least see something sexually, because I can't have it in real life yet. I'm going to get it at some point. I'm going to get there. Like in animes, like they live to find a way, finally grab it. You grabbed a titty. She felt, oh my God, like, ooh, the nosebleeds and all that other shit. Like, but like that they have an understanding of, I'm trying to get here. I just don't have access to it. So this is the way I do have access to it for now. But at some point I would like to not have to utilize it. And then you have the other, like the stereotypical anime dude that's in his room. He's got all the characters and shit around. He be in there till it's dark, just in the screen. And that is his life. That is his reality. He only comes out to go to work or school or some shit like that, and then he's right back. There are people like that, and it's like, whoa, what happened in your life that made you say that this was a lot more comfortable and safer than the actual interaction in reality?
I'm trying to not take, because I don't know if this was, I was having a conversation like not too long ago about like, it was kind of like a back and forth about like male clients, and I don't know if this was my client or somebody else's, but I'm gonna fucking kind of dance around the story anyways. But it was the basic kind of part of the conversation did land on like how much of these behaviors and how much of the ways like niggas engage with sex is because of their nervousness or discomfort, and how much that shit is kind of not swept under the rug, but like kind of mishandled, because especially in that part, like it's sometimes hard for niggas to discuss it, but like those conversations about like, did we have that conversation too about like how motherfuckers are like the pressures of sex and shit like that for dudes, and how it's like, if not only do you gotta have like a big old dick, but you have to come in here off top and be able to knock this shit through the mattress. And to be completely fair, my boy, you need like, I ain't saying you got to go out there and fuck 20,000 people, but you need time to like learn your body, learn your breathing, learn this, that, and the third, learn the difference between like, I'm enjoying this feeling and this motherfucker finna pop off. And there's like a lot of times a gap between those experiences, because you spend, like a lot of niggas, besides the fucking Antoine Fishers of the world, like, because it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that motherfuckers running around like, oh yeah, man, I knocked down and that lady was a fucking predator. But niggas don't discuss as often, because you want to present as like the man. You motherfuckers' first couple experiences, like that high school shit is just coming through anxiety. I have no idea, but you want to, you know what? Like, you niggas wasn't bumping J. Cole enough. That's an honest experience. I have no idea what the fuck I was doing, but I was in here lying my ass off. What was that shit that y'all be calling a horse? Was that it?
The Who?
No. That was Love and Basketball. The Wood, where he was just fucking fumbling through it. Like, that's niggas' regular experiences, but it'd be like,
was that it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's a regular thing, nigga. Like, you're not
supposed to be the distortion in your mind at all.
Yeah, I don't think sometimes like that's as normal. Like you laugh about it in the movie, but that should be normalized, that you should be fucking tripping and falling through this. You shouldn't have that experience, get shamed for it, and now you're like, stuck in porn because you're scared to have sex.
That's one thing. Of course, like there are extremes when it comes, because I'm gonna speak more about media, like how it's portrayed to us. That's one thing I can kind of appreciate about like the teenage, whatever, white movies, because they show people being socially awkward in those moments, fumbling through it, not being perfect. Like, yeah, there may be some shame-based narratives in there, people getting made fun of for being a virgin or stuff like that, like those things. But that's unfortunately a part of real life. But at least it shows a realistic account. I think The Wood was probably one of the first realistic accounts for us as Black people as far as what it actually can and will look like. Because prior to that, what other examples did we have? Even for teenagers, it was supposed to be like, it just something that you do, or it's not talked about at all, or it's talked about just getting a girlfriend or whatever the case is, but they gloss over the sexual part of it, or it's the extremes, which do represent life, but it's like, it shows the teenage love stories, but kids get involved or their street life involved. So it's not really highlighting how to have a healthy relationship. It's showing that these relationships come from unhealthy circumstances and unhealthy environments, but they don't show what's the word I want to use? The innocence of it for that actual age group. And like, I'll share from myself, like I was exposed to porn in elementary school. So I've been seeing that shit for forever. And a lot of my teen and early 20s, I had that same distortion of comparing myself to this thing that I've been seeing so much of. I didn't really like get to it until I transferred. I was a junior at that point, junior in college at that point. Like I had done little stuff here and there, but I wasn't really getting to it. So for me, like I'm with regular college girl. I remember one girl I was dating in college, like she just want to get smashed for the most part. I'm in here with like,
Crush.
I'm trying to have blindfolds and whipped cream and shit like that, because in my mind, that's what I've been looking at since I was a kid. So I'm trying to be like, I don't know what I do to regular shit. I want to be freaky.
You having the fucking the Batman fucking, you click the button, it's fucking like the Austin Powers shit.
I used to call it my freak bag.
Hell yeah.
I had my freak bag in one of the drawers.
Shit.
But like me thinking of having, like looking at it now as an adult, it's like, yeah, I'm like 18, 19, 20, 21 having a freak bag. Like I got sex dice in there and all types of other stuff. The average girl that age is not thinking about. They just condoms, get to it and go about your business. So, but that came from me being exposed to sex and all these things at a young age. And in my mind, this is how it's supposed to go, because this is the only way that I've consumed it as far as porn is concerned. But we didn't get the relevant, innocent versions of that portrayed to us.
Yeah, no, I think actually, I just that's what made me like go ooh. Is they did have that shit in Love and Basketball when they had their first little. It was the most awkward fucking, coming of age. I guess kind of two motherfuckers who are young or whatever. Sex scene. They just looked like two motherfuckers who had no idea what the fuck they was doing.
I feel like it made her look more innocent.
Yeah, he was supposed to be.
She was just kind of like.
Yeah, he was.
And he was like
like
experienced, like, yeah, I'll work you, I'll talk you through it. And it's like, yeah, what's up?
Maybe I go back and forth with that because he looked like somebody who had like
he had sex before.
Yeah, clearly. He looked like he had but I took that as, and maybe I'm projecting too, because he looked like somebody who had sex performatively as opposed to like, oh, I'm like, this I like her, I have to like do this whole shit. Because I would say like especially like my high school experiences, like between porn and like the narrative that you need to get in here and knock these motherfuckers down. Yeah, sex was like I was treating sex like we was fucking hoping, nigga. Like it was like I gotta get in this motherfucker, because if I don't do good, like it was. So I don't want to oversell it like it wasn't fun. Like come just cool, but it was for sure. The headspace was all right. Count your breathing. Like I was in that motherfucker acting like we were like. Okay, hands down. If his hands move, that means he's gonna jump off the ball.
Is his knuckles white? His
knuckles like white. The way y'all watch, like whenever y'all watch, pick a football movie, and those times when they like have the POV, and he's like, spin, turn, okay, 10 paces. Like that was me. I was like, oh shit, man, we gotta, And I would say, like by the time I got to college, I was like, you know what, nigga, I came fast. This shit, I like you. It is what it is. Like it is what it is. I'm about tired of this shit. I like you for real. Yeah. And I'll see you next time. You can stay up. Like fuck it.
Yeah, I was for sure a super late bloomer. So for me, I had that performance anxiety a lot longer. So for me, like I said, looking at porn from elementary school until I was too innocent but too advanced at the same time. So like everybody else, I could tell everybody's lying. We in middle school niggas is lying about the size of their dick and shit like that. I'd be like, I'm not gonna participate in this conversation because I know I'm not packing what the niggas in the videos is packing. So I'm not about to sit here and try and put myself.
Thing too. These niggas was fucking 29 and 30.
Some of them dudes was young, but I mean, also we're not looking at it and like they get recruited for this a particular way. We just think that's
a
how
good
it's
point.
supposed to be.
I'm watching this shit at 13. I just started my development in my mind. I gotta
do this.
I gotta have this motherfucking missile.
This is a grown man with tools, fluffers, and like
that is fucked up.
You don't understand that it's tailored to look that way.
I don't know that they doing takes. I have no idea when this camera shifts. These niggas have taken a break, ate food, came back and yeah. I'm like, damn, nigga, this video 3 hours. They fucked for 3 hours.
I can't believe
shit.
I can't. So that was my story. But because I was a late bloomer, I don't stack up to the dudes in the video, so I'm not going to even participate in this part of the conversation. But I am willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. So I remember being young and dudes was like, I ain't eating coochie. I ain't doing it. I'd be like, I will
start eating pussy for sure. I for sure was like, these niggas. I gotta put everything in my belt.
Yeah, I have to. I am dark skinned. I'm overweight, chubby. Whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't have the tools that everybody else has. I have to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. And that was just my mindset from a young age. So in high school, when I got girlfriends and started doing stuff, I was straight to eating ass. Like, I am willing to do what these other dudes are not willing to do. I was setting the mouth out in high school. And even though I'm still behind everybody else, I'm still advanced. Because people be like, oh, that's nuts for me. I was like, I'll do more than that. I don't give a fuck. From your eardrum to your butthole, I don't give a fuck what we doing. But it's like at 16, 17, should I have that perspective? No, but that's because I was exposed to shit early. But my anxiousness and insecurities made me go to that extreme.
Oh, no, yeah. I think it took until like, definitely like college or like post college to be like, nigga, I've been treating every fucking instance like the goddamn Super Bowl. You're not good at this, nigga. Wait a minute. Like, and not to just shit on it, but you know, I feel like with that anxiety, you go into everything like, oh yeah, nigga, I need to. It's motherfucking preseason in the G League. You and that motherfucker with the anxiety of the NBA championship. This is fucking Game 7, title on the line. It's not.
It's not, but in my mind and my nervous system says that I for sure, and I acknowledged, especially once I got into mental health as an adult, I was like, oh shit, I have performance anxiety. Like I didn't get that until I got older and learned more about it, but I was able to like from a young age when it comes to sex and all of that. Also when it comes to football, like oh my body was responding in a particular way because I have performance anxiety and I didn't know what it was. But in my mind, okay, just play it cool. Kind of like he was talking
Ice cold. No, just like
just play it cool. And it doesn't help, especially to say college age. Well, I'll say for me personally, the trauma of I knew at a young age that my parents had me as teenagers. Mm-hmm. So that played a role in it too. Of like, not only do I have to be good at this, I also have to make sure that I don't create a child like they did. So the pressures were like super heavy on me, which contributed to me being a late bloomer. But then being in college, I'm an athlete, so I can't have people talking bad at me. I'm the bruz, so I can't have people talking bad. Mm-hmm. Like all these other pressures of like, it's not just the pressure of you that I am carrying in this moment, ma'am. It's the pressures of myself, my history, my worries, my fears and distortions, and all the other shit I'm connected to that I gotta suit up and prepare for and perform well for to make sure that not only I get a good rapport, or I don't want to, as the bruh said when I was in school, you ever had a BDR?
Yeah,
like
yeah, BDRs was a thing. I think every fucking HBCU you had it. Like them motherfucking like diss pages, the motherfuckers would get up there and set you the fuck out, whatever you did, but especially like the sexual shit. You got in that motherfucker and didn't do well.
They was gonna shame the shit out of you.
You was finna know about it.
And that adds to that doesn't make the pressure better. Like I've had that conversation, like men and women. Like women can be uncomfortable or not confident in themselves and still be able to perform. if a man is struggling with something anxiously, our bodies won't respond, which makes it even worse. Like you can not be super wet and still find some stuff to help you through the situation. We don't have that luxury. Like it ain't no lube that I can put on that's gonna make me just be rock hard, even though in my mind I am running 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm anxious and fearful as shit and I'm worried. Like that's not, your body's not gonna respond that way. So
I remember a lot of that. Like, it wasn't like a bunch of people, but there was like a little sliver of time where niggas was trying to like jumpstart, like, and they. I felt like fucking such an old nigga because it ain't nothing to do under the sun. Because the way niggas are like young now, like in their 20s, talking about dick pills, like they was trying that shit. I remember niggas trying to talk about that when I was in school, and it was like, even then, it's like, damn nigga, like if there was ever a time where your dick should be just fucking, you know,
stout.
I'm still pretty much, you know, if you the fucking wind blow hard, I'll be like, oh well, all right. Like then, like yeah, you fuck around, like it was, yeah, you fuck around and had too much at 19. If this motherfucker jogging the class too hard, man, it's like, all right, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I gotta start. You know, why did she do that? Like, you know, you just, so when niggas was on the bill, I don't need that. That's, you niggas fuck around and, you know, kill yourself. Yeah, goddamn fucking heart explode.
I'll say I thought about those and kind of explored it when I was that young, but I knew for me it came from my inadequacy. Mm-hmm. So again, as an adult that I can look at it as a mental health professional, like, yeah, I had a lot of insecurity around sex because of how I got here, how I compared myself, me being exposed. Basically, it's a sexual trauma because you being exposed to porn and stuff like that at a young age. That's, your brain isn't ready to conceive all of what that entails. And then that, you know, the image issues, the body issues, like all of that is stuff that I dealt with throughout most of my adolescence. So for me, it was like, I need this to be that.
I would like to take that and slam it upon niggas. That was my point. I fucking forgot my point making a goddamn joke. Is I think about how many niggas who engaged in that, because it wasn't like a billion niggas, but it was a conversation piece for like a little while on campus, and I was like, how many niggas really was engaging in that? But you know how niggas do, like, you know, made it more of like trying to make it a pride thing as opposed to, nah, man, you just kind of insecure. Like, you know, you niggas is dealing with some emotions, and as opposed to maybe like, you know, as we all want motherfuckers to process and work through that, it just turned into, I'm gonna technically kind of put my body at risk unnecessarily, as opposed to just kind of having the tools to process and work through, oh, I have a little bit of anxiety, I might be a little scared, body image issues. Niggas was like, I don't give a fuck what's going on in here. This nigga got to stand up when she called, because I got to get in this motherfucker, do a good job, because if I don't, you know, limp dick Donnie and my fucking...
I'm ostracized from the community, basically. So that especially in college, because you're living in the community that you'll be shamed by. So like, being accepted is a real big proponent of that. Like in your real life, once you graduate and you off of the campus environment, like you can have a BDR and somebody. I
got time.
Yeah,
you know, I've talked about that on here. I got my time windows now. It's a time you want to pull up on me. This is wee time. Yeah. Then there's a time where it's some dick. And those are different. You can have some penis, you can have some dick, but you try to come talk to me at a certain time and I'm good and comfortable, this is my bedtime, you're finna get some wee at best. Yeah, that's, don't do none of that. What's that shit? Don't do none of that motherfucking, you know, you got it. 5 in the morning. Nah, man, you got that good REM sleep and you want to come bother me at like 11, 12 a.m. I've been asleep. This is wee tops. I might roll over. You know what I'm saying? Like that before you go to bed, like, you know, you catch me anytime from like, you know, I like it. I'm a good daytimer. You can catch me from like 11 a.m. to about 7 p.m. I'll rock your shit.
But like,
I'm a grown up.
I think if I'm not mistaken, hormone, like we normally talk about women's cycles and things of that nature. We don't talk about men's cycles, especially as it pertains to hormone. Like during that time that you're explaining, that's when our hormones are best. Like the morning sex and the night sex is really the worst times for our.
Yeah, you got to fuck hormones. Me on my circadian rhythm, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like you get this dick when I get the sun in my body. You know what I'm saying? Get all the.
Been to the gym, sweat a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got the sun in my eyes. My body's registering. When it's time to go to bed, hey. Now, I will say there's that weird window of like if you kind of wake up in the middle of the night and it's like that like because 5 a.m. is too close to like getting up for work. I like a little morning fuck though, but like that little weird like if you kind of have had a good rest and you fuck around and wake up, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. You might put a motherfucker through the mattress, but that's a weird window. You shouldn't put all your chips on that because you could have got fucked. You could have got fucked at 3:30 p.m. Sun was out. It was good. It looked beautiful outside. You know what I'm saying?
But you wanted a crab boil.
Yeah.
And mimosas.
Other than that, in the morning, if y'all got it's a good, like tomorrow, Sunday, you know what I'm saying? You know, hallelujah but also, you know what I'm saying? You had a cool weekend, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get up, nice morning, you know, if y'all super in love like that and it's freaky time, you know, just get to it. But go in there, brush your teeth a little bit, kind of get the cobwebs off. Get back in that bed and get the fucking.
Absolutely.
That's some good sex at that time.
Use some of the dye that you're going to paint the kids' eggs with.
Yeah. Yeah. Egg that ass up. You know what I'm saying? Do a fucking Easter egg hunt in your house. Just have her
put these bunny ears on.
Yeah, just have her toot that ass out of a thing, but it just paint it like an egg. And just
the little
and then you can
bunny tail butt plug.
And then nigga put some fucking bunny ears on and just get the hopping in that ass. We really be saving relationships on here. Y'all don't listen.
What is a chicken hoe?
I support that. Peter Cottontail, hopping up in your ass.
Absolutely, absolutely blasphemous. Absolutely. I support it. But yeah, I think one thing I wish, to a degree, I wish we had grown up in the climate that kids have today. To a degree. Because it's way more common and comfortable for like shit to be discussed and it's okay to discuss it. Whereas for us, there was so much shame, especially as men, especially as black men, but especially as men being surrounded by sex and things of that nature. Shame out the window. I think now the fantasy is more in the kids' faces because like you mentioned the pills, you got whatever favorite content creator that you follow.
Oh yeah,
they gonna collaborate with somebody and
Blue
have
Chew
Blue Chew pills, and like like the kids are. It's being portrayed to them, and they don't even recognize that these are ads or these are skits or things of that nature. Like they're looking at it like that's how it's supposed to be. So it's a variation of what we went through, but they're getting it from social media. So it's like, I wish to a degree we had some of the freedom they had today, as far as the conversations being a lot more open and the emotional aspect of it being talked about more. But they have way more exposure to the fantasy and the fallacies, and
that would
pressuring themselves to fit into it. Like, ain't no reason why you should be 20 years old trying to honey pack some Blue Chews and shit like that. And you know that you don't need it, but you're getting because you're like, I want to make sure.
Well, that would put me into like a parenting conversation, which I'm hella fucking critical of from a professional space, because you have a lot of this shit that. And I get it. I get there's a lot of extra pieces. There's the societal issues. You motherfuckers working 3-4 jobs. You don't always have time to have some of these conversations. Shit, life happens. So I keep that in context and in understanding. However, that adage now where motherfuckers are just throwing their kids an iPad and letting that raise them and not being aware of what's going on. I saw some shit on Instagram the other day. Shit almost fucking did 50 backflips. It was a dad playing he was kind of coaching his daughter through playing Zelda. I'm clearly super biased. He was playing the N64 version. Like as of today, you know what I'm saying? Like by comparison, fucked up graphics. You have to figure it out. And juxtaposing that between like what AI and some of these other things are doing to kids' brains as far as like reducing their ability like cognitively. Like motherfuckers like can't comprehend writing in cursive. Like the way that motherfuckers are I think what is this, like the first generation to technically be dumber than the previous one? Respectfully, like just
with access to more information.
Yeah, the critical thinking skills aren't there. The ability to like kind of process information, go through all the little phases of like intelligence and all that other shit. So, goddamn, those fucking nostrils with my ass. I'm so tired of goddamn allergies. Nigga. So. yeah, it is something for parents to kind of, you got to kind of get in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't got no kids and eat my ass. Like you got to be a participant in they shit. Like the motherfucker get here, yeah, nigga. If he's fucking watching Invincible, you should be watching that shit. I don't give a fuck that it's cartoons and they flying around. Some of this shit is cool. Some of this shit is ways to connect. Some of this shit is like you should be part of it, so you can be like, oh, this is shitty. Because when you see what was those fucks on that? I ain't gonna get the niggas. I'm trying to think about it. Up there, your kid is listening to it. These red pill niggas are their groups are like 13-year-olds. I can't count how many kids that I work with and they're like, oh, did you see this streamer? And it's like, no, because he's a fucking loser. And I'm doing my part. He's a what? No, he's a hey, listen to me, big dog.
Trust me on this one.
Fucking loser. Now you done gave me what our session's finna be about.
I've come across that as well. Like, I don't think that it's their intent to market to those age groups, but yeah, those are the age groups that get to consuming a lot of that, and then that's what shapes them into becoming said kid in the anime that's in his room, only paying attention to what's going on online and barely interacting in the real world. You know, we may say incels or whatever. I forget what they call them in anime. I think they're like shut-ins or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I need some tissue.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. But yeah, it's very interesting how those kids or those age groups end up being. What? Did you tumble? As you should. Those age groups end up being the kids that are receiving a lot of this content and a lot of this information. So I think that's, from a mental health standpoint, that's the trickier part. That's the part that's more concerning. Obviously, I shared on here earlier how, you know, I was exposed to porn early, and that shaped my relationship with myself and my relationship with porn. But I think that may even be way more dangerous as far as being exposed to red pill shit at a young age, and like how that may shape your brain. I've had that experience as well of kids like, have you ever seen, or they say little quotes from certain conservative channels or red pill channels or whatever the case is, and it's like, I have a degree. My brain, I have multiple degrees. My brain can tell me that this sounds stupid, or if I did watch it, I can understand the nuance. I can understand where he may have a point and the other areas where he's way off the mark, or she, because there's a lot of female equivalents. But for the kids that come across that, especially, they didn't have the teen accounts. Now they kind of have the teen accounts. Don't matter if the kid's going to use them or not, actually, but yeah, kids just had access to all types of content. So they may even come across some shit just because, oh, I saw my mom looking at this and I went and looked for it. Or I saw my dad looking at this and I went and looked for it. Or my older cousin sent this to me or sent it to my brother, and my brother was watching it and I wanted to see it, and now I'm exposed to this and now I'm diving deep into it. But neither of you have the discernment to understand context or nuance or things of that nature. So you're going to think that this is law.
Yeah.
Right. So this, I was sharing with them off while you were off. Like, yeah, I know I had the distortions put into my mind around sex from porn. Their distortions are put in their mind from these types of content far beyond just sex. It's like how you see relationships, how you see partners, how you see yourself. That's how the whole grind culture shit got out of control, and kids was like damn near killing themselves because they couldn't meet a certain way of lifestyle. It's like, you're 21. You're not supposed to have a Lamborghini by now, and like, you're supposed to lock in and do this, and that's how you're supposed to live your life. It's like, I'm 22 and I compare myself a lot. I've had that in therapy so many times. Dudes that ain't even cracked the back end of their 30s that are whooping their own ass because they're not living a particular life of people that's portrayed on social media. It's like, dog, I'm 40 and I don't live that.
That is the thing with the little 20-year-olds. I don't have like a ton, but like the ones I have in some form or fashion, we have broached that topic, either kind of tearing apart that or those who don't necessarily like align or conform, I guess, to these standards that are popping up online, like how they are, you know, maneuvering through life, because there is a lot of people in their groups that are like, oh, well, you might be like, it's weird. Like, it's like a bunch of motherfuckers walking around in this quote unquote progressive age, and they walking through a bunch of biffs. It's like, holy shit, like goddamn McFly. And yeah, like the I've had more like interactions with trying to kind of help parents like kind of get in the way of that and what that looks like. It's like, you can have conversations, but nah, nigga, y'all gotta you gotta lock the fuck in, big dog. Like, you gotta really be engaged with this motherfucker, because like it's, and I'll take my foot out of parents' ass a little bit. It's way more pervasive than one would say, like than one would think. Like you think like, oh, I might put on, this show. Like, it was, you could sit me in front of I used to, you could sit me in front of fucking Cartoon Network and Boomerang, and I'd be more or less okay. Like, it'd be, but now these motherfuckers, like, if you're not actively putting this in, like, he'll go to school, they have their social groups, so there is going to be an interest to, because, Jalen, I got to come back to that. Jalen is watching the fucking, whatever streamer, so you want to be in, you want to be able to have conversation with your friends, so he goes and watches it. So you now have to be there's no, you can sit him in front of cartoons and everybody's watching He-Man.
Yeah.
You have to be an active participant in like parsing through, like, this is bad. Maybe I don't know, depending on the age and depending on your guys' relationship, you can't necessarily avoid it, but you have to be a participant to be like, okay, if y'all are engaging with this, let me tell you why this is dumb. Like, I do quite a bit of like, some of my shit is like that. Okay, well, let's kind of sift through this. This is, what's one of them fuck niggas? Like, oh, you like clavicular? He's just a model. No, man, he's just a model nigga. And this doesn't make sense, and this doesn't make sense, and this doesn't make sense. And if you're a parent, I'm for sure you have way more fucking leverage than I do, because, if a motherfucker that, I know that whole shit of like, parent, you don't think your parents are cool? Bullshit. I thought my daddy could punch the fuck out of Godzilla. Not an exaggeration. So as somebody in their lives who they consider important, once you go, well, that's fucking lame. Not you're in trouble for it. Like, you could just walk through like, that's lame. It's what? Yeah. Some shit loses with, yeah, no, fuck that. And, you have to be involved. You have to be able to kind of have conversations with these motherfuckers, because, they're smart. So at 8, you liked cartwheels and, smelling your own farts. Cool. He's 9 now, and he's way more advanced. So you can have a conversation with this 9-year-old that is progressing into adolescence rather soon. And it's like, yeah, this is bad for these reasons, as much as you can understand.
Yeah. At least using mental health jargon to a degree of like actively parenting, so you can combat not just the social shame that he's going to experience. You don't listen to so blah, blah, blah. That's an aspect of shame that he's experiencing in his social environment, but also helping him understand negative influence. I think a lot of parents, it's either just take it away. That's their parenting. You can't be watching this no more. And that's just it. You don't explain to them why. And that's just going to make them want to watch it more and sneak and watch it more. Just the same way that we watched porn when we was kids. Like, we knew we wasn't supposed to be looking at it. And that's why we had the fucking back button on the remote. Because we knew we get in trouble for looking at certain shit. So, like, the fact that I'm not supposed to do it makes me want to do it more. So if your ideology in parenting is just to take it away or to say, that's bad, that's stupid, you can't look at that no more. And then that's it. But you don't, like, sit and watch an episode with them and pause. What do you understand from what they just said? Okay, here's my perspective. You want to look up why that's a dumb take?
Yeah.
You want to look up why that doesn't make sense? But that means you have to actually parent to be able to do this stuff. You have to manage your emotions. You have to have your worldview shaped in a positive way to help them understand how to shape theirs in a positive way. I want you to be able to critically think. So I'm going to sit here and watch this with you and point out how you're not critically thinking through this. You're just allowing your emotions to tell you whatever. Because Jalen at school was talking shit about you for not watching this shit. And you want to watch it and say that you're cool to be cool with Jalen and the other girls that think Jalen is cool. So you're listening to this with a bias. You don't even fully comprehend what this shit is. You just want to watch it because other cool kids are watching it, and then you feel like you got to do the same thing. But I'm going to sit here with you, and I'm going to make sure that you understand how me, who's far more intelligent than Jalen, It's going to help you understand how stupid this is. Maybe it'll help you also understand that Jalen and probably his parents are dumb as hell too. So as much as you want to think, Jalen should be your friend so that you'll be more popular, you're probably better off.
These Jalen's and Jadens, boy. That's hip hop. That's not hip hop. That's fucking sports news of the week. What's it? Jalen Ivey, who apparently was like Detroit Piston. He then was a Chicago Bull. I don't know where he is now. I thought I heard somebody say something about the Lakers, and I'm just like, fuck.
Gay people all the devil.
Yeah,
and the NBA is supporting hedonism.
In his infinite wisdom, decided to cut his phone on and just drive and have just, bro was like, did you know they're gay outside? How dare they? They're outside gay.
And the NBA
if you open your door and look outside, they're outside gay. Like, nigga just
they're eating the poo-poo.
And nigga act like you open, like when you said you walk outside, you go in the store, you go to Sprouts, you go down the aisle trying to buy your food. It's just two niggas. Every aisle got two niggas per aisle just touching tips. They just putting their dicks together and doing that's what Jalen was in his car saying. He said they just outside, and then when you go
feeding each other Pringles in the snack aisle.
Yeah, and then when you go to the Starbucks and shit, you can't even order your coffee because it's just two women on the table just scissoring. Everywhere you go, it's just women scissoring and dudes jerking each other off, and that's against God. And I don't know, man, that was just really dumb to do. I feel like the conversation people trying to have about it being like a free speech thing, I think it's stupid. I don't think free speech, you can have free speech, and the clapback is like, you're not free of consequence. However, I don't think any of this had to really do with like religious like freedom, like your ability to practice. Ain't nobody said that nigga couldn't praise Jesus. That motherfucker got on his phone unprovoked and just was like, it's gay people outside. It's niggas sucking dick and opening their buttholes. And it's like, that ain't, who gives a shit? I don't know, man. Like, it wasn't just like, it would be different if like there was anything that he said was like, this nigga just ran up and grabbed my ass. Like, it was none of that. He just was like, I don't like it.
I think that kind of goes back to what I shared or asked earlier. We don't have the context of like what happened to you prior to this that made you go on that rant.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just something that randomly popped in his mind that he decided to rant. Something happened either in his past, something he saw either in the locker room, or something, whatever, but there's something or a series of events that he saw and experienced that made him say, you know what, I got to get this shit out of my system.
I don't know if it was at Detroit or if it was at Chicago, but they said like he had a history of like, or I've seen people talk about, I don't know, let me say allegedly or whatever.
Right.
Like he would be like pressing, teammates or other people. Like he was just very like that uber hyper religious shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, at this point, like, there's enough tells that there might be some religious psychosis or just some trauma attached to that. And, whatever he may or may not be going through. Like, is not even a spin, like an angle that I think there's a lot of people who've had this angle, and I think it's important. Like, bro is going through some shit, but that don't make that shit less do for what you said.
Not at all. But I think that's the part that we should pay attention to at some point. Like, I can get the Bulls like, all right, cut immediately. We can't have any connection to you or pay you any more money, because that does make us look bad if we hold a connection to you. I get when it comes to business, they're going to cut you off and keep their money, and technically you just violated your contracts. We ain't got to pay you shit. They're going to find a way to keep their money and find somebody else to replace you. You are expendable. But in reality, it's like, if I do really care about this dude, let's find him a therapist to really process what's going on in his head and what's going on in his life, because I can understand being religious. You ain't the only religious motherfucker in the league. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of religious people that are in the league, coaches, front office, whatever the case is. But the extent of which you're doing it is like, are you okay? Like, are you sure you okay? Is there something that you're going through? Is there something that happened? Like, having somebody take that time to sit with him and process with him to figure out where that actually comes from would be beneficial. I mean, even if you dive into his childhood, because you're saying if he'd been on multiple NBA teams with the same I'm gonna be in the courtyard preaching, trying to convert people and shame, the street corner preachers yelling at the passersby of how you're going to go into damnation if you go into Planned Parenthood or some shit, or if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your life and say, like, those are extreme, as you say, like religious psychosis or like religious based distortions or mental health issues. Like, we ain't trying to convert you to not be religious, but we do need to understand why this extreme is what you're leaning toward, because there's got to be something going on. But people having that investment and talking about those things, I think when we see that stuff as far as pop culture news and things of that nature is concerned, we don't talk about those. We just shame the behavior. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we can hold the behavior accountable, but when you shame it, that means you cut off the opportunity to understand why it exists. And that ends up being an issue. So
I think for a lot, because that's why I remember I put those two together when I be trying with these topics, nigga. Mm-hmm. Structure. But his shit I had next to that video that Dr. Raquel Martin dropped this week about like how conversion therapy is fucking torture.
Yeah.
And I don't find those two fucking stories or ideologies like too far apart. Like the people who engage in conversion therapy do a lot of that Jalen fucking rhetoric. Like that's Absolutely. The basis for their shit. 1,000%. And that shit is some like, terrible horse shit. Like that shit is not I don't know, man. Over these past 2-3 weeks, there's been some fucking shit about you.
Told you.
Yeah, niggas in the field is crazy. Respectfully, like it's some motherfuckers in here doing this shit ass backwards. I don't give a fuck, as a nigga relatively new to this particular position, these niggas is doing this shit ass backwards and fuck shit forwards. And so I will say, like, I think that is a thing that motherfuckers be like having a difficult thing processing about. Like, I can understand or want to understand more about what got him in this headspace and work to fix it. Motherfucker, that don't mean that you giving the motherfucker a pass, boy. Like, y'all be putting, like, them shit do not go in the same
like
box.
Empathy and understanding and contextual clues and things of that nature is condoning or excusing the behavior. It's like, no, just allow yourself to listen or understand past your bias or past your emotions. And I don't think a lot of people recognize that that's what they're doing. You're not trying to solve a problem. You're not even sharing your perspective. You have a bias, and then you start spewing your bias into the void, which makes the situation way more murky. I can have my perspective of that was dumb to say. I'm also not a religious person, so I already don't want to hear shit you got to say in the first place. So the second that you start talking about gays and Jesus, I'm automatically flipping past this because I don't give a fuck about nothing that you're talking about. But that comes from my bias. As a therapist, I have an ethical obligation to understand what is the context behind what you're sharing and listening behind the clues, so to speak. Like, when I hear you, there's other shit that you're not saying that I need to try and understand and have empathy and understanding for, because that's what gives me the full story. We don't talk about how we should be able to or how we can do that in regular society. It's better for us because it makes our job and our abilities way more important. But for the average person, they're not trying to listen to someone else to understand or figure out the context behind it. It's just, I'm listening with my bias, and my bias is going to make me react a particular way, and my bias is going to tell me to shame you, and that's just it.
Yeah, I think definitely, understanding even from the point of like, how to maneuver through this or know that these motherfuckers exist. I know understanding sometimes gets thrown in the bag of like, understanding means absolving. I don't subscribe to that. I can understand just because I know a nigga like this exists. And then, we move forward on how to deal with a motherfucker like that, because I do think that shit that nigga saying is dangerous, and that shit be getting like in a real harmful bag. If you've had some trauma or some shit, I'll give you space to work through that. But there's a certain line of like times where you can kind of, fumble it, where it's like, okay, we need to understand this motherfucker, even if it's just simply to have things in place to have to work around a motherfucker like that. Because you getting kicked off the, bulls don't mean these niggas don't exist and might, empower. I do like sometimes that it does create discourse, because I get to see like who up in this motherfucker is fucking with this. And, with that brings me to, I think, it's probably land the plane on the day is, Nicholas and, fuck ass Amber and goddamn weird ass Chili. And at this point, weird ass Boys to Men, freaky ass Wanye. There's a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of niggas. I saw some shit about Big Boy honestly, I don't want, I want something that, I need you niggas to figure it the fuck out. Cause it's just, with all the understanding and shit, I get it. Niggas who is rich want to stay rich.
Yeah.
You niggas and touch some money and now want to get, like, that might be my first thing. Y'all done got to touch a little taste. Y'all done sold a little soul, a little ass, maybe both, to get in certain rooms to maintain that career. I can understand that, but I can also understand that it takes a significant lack of fucking morals, integrity,
awareness. Being in touch, just being in tune.
Yeah, just
grounded.
Yeah, to like align with that, because Amber Rose been showed her shit. I know, like, the Nick Cannon commentary is more of what, like, kind of got niggas like, God damn, bro. And that's my shit about when motherfuckers be using that. There's a fine line between duality and then just flat out contradiction. You can't have a show that is discussing all these uber great things about mental health, even though you start pressing nigga about his mental health, he'd be, you know what? Because I think that Nick can be a good example of what it looks like when people get a hold of the language and are able to manipulate this idea that, like, because I am participating in it, I am somehow an advocate, as opposed to I can use it to shield my shit. Like, I got a show about mental health. I love mental health. I was diagnosed as a narcissist. And it's like, this is still potentially giving you that attention and shit. And you going around on all these, it puts you, make sure you stay. If I got 12 kids, I want I want all these platforms to be popping. However, to say that you are for the prominence, upliftment of black people, to have that show where you'll have, some of these prominent black leaders on there and discussing all this, it's got all the aesthetic. You put your little head wrap on. It's very performatively black. You got your other comedy show, we playing spades. I'm tapped into the community, but then we'll go and say that you align politically with things that Trump is doing, things conservatively. And I think motherfuckers be flopping with the word. Like, you can have a conservative view of, like, I don't fucking know, man. I'm trying my best with that. Fuck y'all. Yeah, like, you can want to uplift your family. Like, all the weird shit that they be trying to say, like, that's not what that is. And you have to try to put a certain level of stupidity on people, and some people are willfully dumb for that shit to ride. I'm not one of them niggas. To say that shit, I completely associate that with you are not fucking with the upliftment of, pick a group, black people, brown people, gay people, people who are trying to, it's in the term progressive, trying to just, do healthy, decent things. We done got USAID is fucking out of here. Motherfuckers don't have insurance. They blowing people away in the street. We done started a fucking war. Niggas ain't got no money. Gas $37. Like, to say it ain't, there's nothing positive, and it's just, oh, I was rich, and I done sucked whatever dick that I needed to suck to be, and I'm trying to kiss up to massacres. Maybe your version of, like, I see where this shit is headed. I would like to align and find, whatever proper ass I could eat to make sure I survive, and that's bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the sticking within the realm of the conversation. Like, the distortion that is painted for people that they don't know. I don't think a lot of people, when they hear, say, the conversation between Nick Cannon and Amber Rose, like, you take that seriously because you don't understand that that's tailored to be a particular way for a particular reason. Like, Amber just may be, I don't want to call her stupid.
I do.
I don't want to call her stupid because I can understand part of her issues may come from her identity and her upbringing and all that other stuff.
Take that shit to the chair.
So,
to
yeah,
the lady,
she need to go sit down and talk to somebody. I understand that because you went from slut walk to supporting Trump. But for us as onlookers, like, I can, it's not really a joke, but I can make that distinction of that joke because I can see the extremes in your behavior because I understand that you are not as pulled together as other people may think you are. There's so many people that Amber's so beautiful, and they romanticized her they romanticized Amber the same way they romanticized the Kardashians at one point in time, which is why you had so many girls going to the slut walk, and I'm reclaiming my this and that and this, and that's the same person that you was out here in Hollywood following in the streets, being naked, reclaiming your sexuality and all this for the slut walk. It's the same person that led you to Trump, telling you that Trump is a good person. She supports him, but like Nick may just be. I'll give Nick a little tiny bit of grace in that. Yeah, you might still be traumatized by the fact that they was calling you anti-Semitic and all this other stuff, and them Jews that we do not control the media industry got a hold of your ass and said, you want to keep making this money, you better start speaking nice about the shit that we doing, or it's going to be some consequences and repercussions. So they put the fire to your ass. And instead of you saying, you know what, I'll risk this. I'll risk X, Y, and Z to stand on what I've been. And you had head wrap turbans and all that other stuff and having these discourses with people, and to flip-flop a year or a year and a half, 2 years later to supporting Trump. Like, you was creating Black Lives Matter songs and shit like that, and now all of a sudden you support Trump. And I don't think Trump is racist. I think he's just a Trumpist. Like, so we don't know, or we don't like to ascertain that there's something that happened behind the scenes that is putting him in the position to say that on purpose.
I just think, and again, this is from understanding. I just think niggas be folding.
Absolutely.
They
don't stand for. Oh shit.
I think, and I don't know. I think sometimes that's worth being. Like, we can understand that, you can know that, but I think that, like, when we discuss, you know, whichever, you know, niggas be performatively, whatever, you got the Malcolm X tattoo, the Martin Luther King tattoo, you know, I got the whatever, you know, I'm for my people and shit. And it's like, well, a lot of the motherfuckers wasn't having a great time trying to get liberation and betterment for their people. I understand. Yeah, and I understand everybody will have their tears in this, but there's certain shit, man. That's not like a matter of opinion in my opinion. Like, that shit is just complete opposition. You cannot say that you are for whatever these, you know, liberal views or pro-black views or whatever the fuck. You just not for the and be on that.
I'll say part of that, unfortunately, is part of human nature too, because there's been a lot of, so say, as you were explaining with the tattoos, I thought of like Game getting the butterfly tattoo, and then because niggas was talking shit about it, you covered it up and put the LA with the star and all that other shit. Like, no, nigga, stand in the tattoo that you got. I got this tattoo for this reason, but you start expressing some public shame and you think it's gonna hurt your image, and then you flip flop, right? Or if you're talking about our political leaders, we had people like, we knew Malcolm and Martin was killed by our government. We knew that there are some other people, potentially or allegedly the nation, playing a role in that. We know that people in the Black Panthers, you know, set up people in the Black Panthers because they were infiltrated. We know that Marcus Garvey was infiltrated. All these leaders that we had people in the community, black folks in the community, that were willing to turncoat and go against the overall mission of our betterment for the sake of their own personal betterment. Or they listen to some false information and let somebody get in their head and they say, you know what, you right, and people turn on them. People loved Malcolm at one point in time, and then they hated Malcolm. Like, this is the same thing like with wrestling. Wrestling is maybe a loose example, but you get to see all the time. If you've ever watched wrestling for years, say you watch wrestling for 3 years, you get to see how at one point in time this character is a face, and people love them. They love them so much. And at some point they do something dastardly and their character changes to a heel and people can't stand them. You fucking suck. And like, you was just cheering for this person not too long ago, but that's how easily swayed we are as a people. That's just how our society works, where the slightest little thing that either confirms your bias or taps into your insecurity or whatever, because you don't think critically for yourself, you end up just getting swayed in whatever way the wind is blowing, as opposed to, like, say, sticking with wrestling. A wrestling fan like myself, I just don't like you because I don't like you. I just, your character doesn't do anything for me. I understand that you guys are professional stuntmen. Y'all have characters that y'all play. Some of them are based on who you are. Some of them are not. But this person, I like them because they're very athletic. Their moves are dope. I don't expect them to ever win a championship in this regard because that's just not what their character is. I can understand how this doesn't make sense to be like, well, so-and-so should be fighting for the championship. No, that doesn't make sense. How they're using him doesn't make sense. What his character and his skill set is doesn't make sense. Can it happen? Yeah, it's potential, but the writers in the back aren't going to make that happen. I can ascertain how to look at this critically because I allow myself to look at it unbiasedly. I can understand the difference. We don't do that as a society. We are sheep. We allow ourselves to go with whatever the wind blows, or we're motivated by material. Material tells us who we should hate, who we should like, and then that turns into how we should shame each other, which turns into how we should shame ourselves. And it's sad that we don't always pick up on that cycle. That's why you got Latinos joining ICE, deporting their cousins and shit.
Yeah, I think, yeah, man, I think you got to be critical of these motherfuckers. I think, I definitely think, like, yeah, the understanding piece is necessary, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, I don't know, absolve or whatever. It's like, I understand where you may be coming from, and that understanding is good. It lets me understand, like, God, I'm using the fucking word understand so much. But
I don't understand why I keep using understand so much.
Yeah, about like just you need to know, like, I think, you need to know where people are at. You need to be able to, like, grieve your idea of a motherfucker. And this thing of us putting somebody in a pedestal because they have money. I think niggas gotta kinda wash all that shit together. Yeah, man, like, we all was singing, TLC, niggas love Boyz II Men. Once I like, it's just too much. I'm an easy cut offer. Once I see you fucking with these motherfuckers in a way, y'all niggas taking photos and shit. This motherfucker that got on stage and actively implemented and done they absolute best. Motherfuckers up here taking all them niggas from fucking Boyz II Men taking pictures with Mike Johnson. I'm cool. Guy working mysterious ways. Now you up here being a freak nigga with Brandy and shit. It is what it is. I'm not trying to rush the story. I just know we've been talking to y'all a lot, but I've long had my stance on it's so much ass outside. There's so much grown up ass outside. Just grown up filthy ass. You can do so. You can spit in it, look at it, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. You could do crazy shit to it. So the idea that you had it anyway had to like, and I what was the ages? I think it was like Brandy 16.
She was 16. He was 21.
Listen, I know like on paper like that might not be a gigantic gap.
Nah. At 21, you was successful in the industry.
Yeah,
you had
like
access to
because I see motherfuckers already trying to. I don't want to hear that shit. Like it's.
If it was 18 and 21, I might let it slide.
Am I finna
16
put
and 21?
Yeah, am I finna put him in like the Robert category? Maybe not, but you didn't have to do that. It was weird.
It's just as weird as y'all that was having y'all college boyfriend pick up y'all from school when y'all was in the 10th grade. It's the same concept.
That's weird. They are weird. He's a weirdo. I think put him in the weirdo bag. I saw one conversation online, and I just like I don't understand. Like you don't have to do the what ifs. He's a weirdo, and I put Drea in her own weirdo bag. I saw that conversation online. I just thought it was dumb.
Yeah,
that bitch is weird.
She's a predator.
That bitch is weird as fuck.
She cares about money. So
yeah, he's weird. She's weird as fuck. And I don't know, man. Whatever backlash they get from this, it's earned.
I think about that. Like, I remember being in high school, and if you were a senior, like, man, you taking a freshman to the dance, like,
yeah, like
we thought it was. And granted, we're in the same age group, we're in the same school, so it's still okay. But I can remember people having discourses about you being a senior messing with a freshman, but then we didn't look at that same scenario with the same critique when it was said girl whose boyfriend is out of high school already. Like you in 11th grade, you in 10th grade, your boyfriend's in college, or you dating boys? I date boys that go to. I'm gonna go to. You in 11th grade going to USC parties? Like, oh, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I think that shit. Like, I think I know it was a bit overzealous to be like, you a freshman. Yeah, I remember like as a freshman, I remember looking at seniors, and in my mind, I thought them niggas was 42. Like, I get that distortion. I understand that now. Like, if you 30 and you fucking somebody 34, whatever. However, I feel like there is I know we said something like that before about like what these gaps look like given the maturity and life experiences that you've had.
Yeah.
I'm not rocking with like you tell me 16 and that motherfucker not in high school with them.
Are vastly different.
Yeah, you just like I wasn't no famous nigga, but I was out here. I was out here moving. You know, I enjoyed my college years. I couldn't wait to come home so I could get in the streets and have more experiences. So that with a 16-year-old is weird. I don't know what they do about this shit retroactively, but if you want to think the nigga's weirdo and like, you know, shit on him on social media, I think that's fine.
Yeah. I think that's the equivalent of like being 30 or 35 dating a 22-year-old or something.
Yeah, I think that shit's weird. Like, don't, yeah.
I can understand you're old enough to consent to having like sexual interactions, but like seriously pursuing them and like, I don't even want to have sex with you like that. I can look at you and be like, damn, she's attractive. But still,
I'm not
you're 20. No.
I'm not the age gap nigga. I don't know what episode that was, but it was in this motherfucking house. And we did some age breakdown, and it took a minute for me to fucking wrap my mind around. It was like 30 something, and it was like, I was like, oh, that does make sense. Okay, cool. So I'm not the nigga for that. I got like, you know, and I will put that all on like life/career experiences. I have seen firsthand the fucking effects of how this weirdo shit work. Yeah. I don't give a fuck how much ass eating, whatever the fuck shit I talking. That's under the fucking umbrella of two consenting freak ass adults. There ain't nothing you niggas could ever tell me, and I'm not above. I'm a professional. You know what I mean? Because that shit crazy. Oh, my mama, that shit crazy. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what y'all said. You should figure it out, my boy. Y'all niggas got to bunch of niggas that don't got no choice but to buy pussy. Don't tell me shit, boy. Shut the fuck up. You know, shut up.
I mean, that's also an option. You can buy. Why did you have to try and pursue an underage?
Because you like the power. Like, that's this shit. We could walk this shit back. You ask enough questions. I know, nigga. I'm not anybody perfect. I know what it's like that. I want to get some fucking out this situation. You know, everybody want to sit up here and bust off or whatever. Your pursuit of this is something beyond even just sexual. It's a power dynamic or some weird attraction to youth and youthful bodies. You know, all you motherfuckers be liking these motherfuckers extra skinny, ain't no hair on that motherfucker. There's something up there. You guys just a little, I don't know. That was a little heavy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Yeah, you know, it's some giggles and shit throughout. We adults. I don't know, man. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next time. Every now and again, we might have a little change of scenery depending on some stuff. Yeah. That's about it. Felix, when you listen, if whatever you like, I'll clip it up. Cause that was Felix got the whole fucking what was that shit? That I almost forgot about. Like, did you know you could nut on him, Tom? That was a Felix pull. I damn near forgot about that. So yeah, if y'all not gonna send no motherfucking questions and shit, we appreciate. I like that part. Clip it up.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Listen to the episode. You know what? Hey, like to make a meme out of this one. Great.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'm taking all requests.
Man of the people.
All right. Bye.